नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली सहयोग थुङ्गा फुलका हामी एउटै माला नेपाली सार्वभौम भई फैलिएका मेची महाकाली प्रकृतिका कोटि कोटि सम्पदाको आचला वीरहरूका राजधानी स्वतन्त्र र अचल ज्ञान भूमि शान्ति भूमि तराई पहाड हिमाल अखण्ड यो प्यारो हाम्रो मातृभूमि नेपाल बहु जाति भाषा धर्म संस्कृति छन् विशाल अग्रगामी राष्ट्र हाम्रो जय जय नेपाल।
Excuse me, ma'am. May I come in?
Yes, you may. What do you want?
Ma'am, I forgot my homework copy. I want to ask for sorry.
Okay, don't worry. Bring it tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Excuse me, Dad. What do you want, dear? I want some money. Why, dear? To donate for flood victims? How much do you want? I want 100 rupees. Here you are. Thank you, Dad.
Good morning, sir. How can I help you?
Good morning. I want to book a room for 2 days.
What type of room do you want, sir? Single bedroom or double bedroom?
I want a double bedroom.
Do you want an AC room or a common room?
I want an AC room.
Excuse me, what do you want, sir?
We want juice.
What kind of juice do you want, sir?
We want a glass of banana juice and a glass of apple juice.
Here you are, sir. This is my doll. I want to play with it. No, this is my doll. I want to play with it. Why are you fighting, dears? Mom, she's taking my doll. I want to play with my doll. Susila doesn't allow me to play. Okay, Sapna, don't worry. I will give you a new one. Give it to your sister, Susila. She is your younger sister. No, Mom, I want this. Okay, I have bought a new teddy bear for you. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Wow, it's so cute. I love it. I really want this, Mom. Is it for me, Mom? Yes, Susila.
Goose geese, I want my geese to lay gold eggs for Easter, at least 100 a day. And by the way, I want a feast. I want a bean feast, cream buns and donuts, and fruitcake with no nuts, so good you could go nuts. Now, I want a ball. I want a party, pink macarons and a million balloons, and performing baboons, and give it to me now. I want the world. I want the whole world. I want to lock it all up in my pocket. It's my bar of chocolate. Give it to me now. I want today. I want tomorrow. I want to wear them like birds in my hair, and I don't want to share them. I want a party with roomfuls of laughter, 10,000 tons of ice cream. If I don't get the things I'm after, I'm going to scream. I want the works. I want the whole works. Presents and prizes, and sweets and surprises of all shapes and sizes. And now, don't care how I want it now. Don't care how I want it now.
Once upon a time, there lived 4 Brahmins in a small village. They were Satyanand, Vidyanand, Dharmanand, and Shivanand. They had grown up together to become good friends. They were truly bosom friends. Satyanand, Vidyanand, and Dharmanand were very knowledgeable. Shivanand spent most of his time eating and sleeping. He was considered foolish by everyone. Once famine struck the village. All the crops fell. Rivers and lakes started to dry up. The people of the villages started moving to other villages to save their lives. We also need to move to another place soon, or else we will also die like many others, said Satyanand. They all agreed with him. But what about Shivanand? Asked Satyanand. Do we need him with us? He has no skills and learning. We cannot take him with us, replied Dharmanand. He will be a burden on us. How can we leave him behind? He grew up with us, said Vidyanand. We will share whatever we earn equally among the 4 of us. They all agreed to take Shivanand along with them. They packed all necessary things and set out for a nearby town. On the way, they had to cross a forest. As they were walking through the forest, they came across the bones of an animal. They became curious and stopped to take a closer look at the bones. "Those are the bones of a lion," said Vidyanand. The others agreed. "This is a great opportunity to test our knowledge," said Satyanand. "I can put the bones together." So saying, he brought the bones together to form the skeleton of a lion. Dharmanand said, "I can put muscles and tissue on it." Soon a lifeless lion lay before them. "I can breathe life into that body," said Vidyanand. But before he could continue, Sivanand jumped up to stop him. "No, don't. If you put life into that lion, it will kill us all," he cried. "Oh, you coward, you can't stop me from testing my skills and learning," shouted an angry Vidyanand. "You are here with us only because I requested the others to let you come along." "Then please let me climb the tree first," said frightened Sivanand, running towards the nearest tree. Thus, as Sivanand pulled himself onto the tallest branch of the tree, Vidyanand brought life into the lion. Getting up with a deafening roar, the lion attacked and killed the three learned Brahmins at once. Crane and the Snake. Long, long ago, there lived a crane with his wife in a forest near a bank of a river. They were very unhappy. Every time the wife laid eggs in their nest, a big black cobra who lived in a hollow in the tree would eat them up. The crane had a friend, the crab. He went to his friend, the crab, and shared his misery. The crane said, "I feel so hopeless. That cruel thief has eaten our eggs again," complained the crane angrily. "Don't worry," said the crab comfortingly. "You need not be hopeless when you have a friend like me. We will come up with a solution." The crab sat to think of a plan. Suddenly he jumped up and rushed to the crane. "Friend, I have a wonderful plan," said the crab, and whispered something into the crane's ear. The crane flew back to his nest and told his wife all about the crab's plan. He was very excited. "Are you sure this will work?" asked the wife. "I hope we are not making a mistake. Think twice before going ahead with the plan." But the crane was eager to try out the plan. The crane flew down to the river bank and began to fish. He caught several little fishes and went down to the hole in which a magoose lived. He dropped a fish at the mouth of the hole. Then he took another fish and dropped it a little further away the first one. Repeating this, he made a trail of fishes leading to the tree where his nest was. The magoose smelled the fish and came out of the hole. "Ah, a fish!" exclaimed the magoose joyfully and quickly ate it up. He then followed the trail of fishes. As he reached the tree where the cranes and the snake lived, the trail ended. Finding no more fishes, he looked around. Suddenly, he came across the black cobra at the front of the tree. Seeing the magoose, the cobra fought for his life. Both fought for a long time, and in the end, the magoose killed the snake. The cranes who were watching the fight from their nest sighed with relief. The next day, the magoose began to follow the same trail, hoping to find more food. When he came to the tree where the trail ended, he decided to climb the tree in search of food. The cranes, who were away at the river bank, returned to find the magoose climbing down the tree. On looking in their nest, they discovered that this time the magoose had eaten up all their eggs. "Alas, we got rid of one enemy only to find another," said the crane to his wife.
Hey Ria, what are you doing there? I'm making a plan for tomorrow picnic. Are you going on picnic? Yes, we are going on picnic. Who will go? We grade 5 and I'm the picnic coordinator. What's about you? We have nothing special at school, but I will go for shopping with my mom. Where will you go? We'll go to Dulik Hill. Have a great day. Thank you.
Good morning, class. What is tomorrow, class? Tomorrow is World Environment Day, sir. What shall we do, sir? We will organize a sanitation program. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Should we bring anything else, sir? Yes, everyone has to bring a placard. What other things shall we do, sir? We clean the school compound and march a rally from school. We will clean the roads and streets. We will tell people not to throw garbage, poly bags and waste on the streets and roads. Hi, my name is David. What's your name? Hi, my name is Anil. Where are you from, David? I'm from Spain. And you, Mr. Anil? I am from India. Nice to meet you. By the way, what are these people doing there? They are playing Holi. It is the festival of colors. It is mostly celebrated in Nepal and India. In this festival, people throw colors upon each other. Do you have a similar festival in your country? Yes, we do. We celebrate Tomatina. In this festival, we throw tomatoes upon each other. Tomatoes? It is strange. Yes, it's really funny and joyful.
Mother's Garden. I grew up amongst every kind of plant and flower. Beyond our gate was the garden of dear mother. This Eden was colorful, tangled, and so sensational, so erratic, untamed, and just totally unmanageable. Mother knew the Latin names of each blooming posy: the iris, lily, rose, aster, dahlia, marigold, and peony. I really loved the purple larkspur and pink gardenia. Mother said she loved them all but adored camellia. Brightly painted butterflies danced and glided happily, and the nesting birds all sang their songs so loudly. We had an old swing, and we would sit and sip tea in the shade of trees, just my mother and me. Oh, to turn back the clock of time, moving and clicking, to be in my mother's garden again, a child dreaming.
One day, a father was doing some work, and his son came and asked, "Daddy, may I ask you a question?" The father said, "Yeah, sure, what is it?" So his son asked, "Dad, how much do you make an hour?" The father got a bit upset and said, "That's none of your business. Why do you ask such a thing?" The son said, "I just want to know. Please tell me, how much do you make an hour?" So the father told him, "I make Rs 500 per hour." "Oh," the little boy replied with his head down. Looking up, he said, "Daddy, may I please borrow Rs 300? The father furiously said, "If the only reason you asked about my pay is so that you can borrow some money to buy silly toy or other nonsense, then march yourself to your room and go to bed. Think why you are being selfish. I work hard every day and do not like this childish behavior." The little boy quietly went to his room and shut the door. The man sat down and started to get even angrier about little boy's question. He dared to ask such a question only to get some money? After an hour or so, the man calmed down and started to think maybe there was something he really needed to buy with Rs 300 and really didn't ask for money very often. The man went to the door of little boy's room and opened the door. "Are you sleeping, son?" he asked. "No, Daddy, I'm awake," replied the boy. "I've been thinking maybe I was too hard on earlier," said the man. "It's been a long day and I took my aggravation on you. Here's the Rs 300 you asked for." The little boy sat straight up smiling. "Oh, thank you, Dad," he yelled. Then, reaching under his pillow, he pulled some crumpled up notes. The man, seeing that the boy already had money, started to get angry again. The little boy slowly counted his money, then looked up at his father. "Why do you want money if you already had some?" The father grumbled, "Because I didn't have enough, but now I do." The little boy replied, "Daddy, I have Rs 500 now. Can I buy an hour of your time? Please come home early tomorrow. I would like to have dinner with you." The father was dumbstruck.
The teeth. Once there was a boy who lived with his mother. They were very poor. The boy was very handsome and extremely smart. As he grew older, he became even more handsome and smarter. However, his mother always remained sad. Once, the boy asked his mother, "Mother, why are you always sad?" Mother replied, "Son, a fortune teller once told me that whoever has teeth like yours will become very famous." Then the boy asked, "Will you not like it if I become famous?" "Oh, my son, what kind of mother wouldn't like it if her son became famous? I'm always sad because I keep thinking that you will forget me and leave me once you become famous." Upon hearing this, the boy started to cry. He stood there in front of his mother for a while and then ran out of the house. He picked up a rock from outside and smashed his front teeth. He started to bleed from his mouth. His mother ran out and was shocked to see what he had done. She asked, "Son, what did you do?" In reply, the boy held his mother's hand and said, "Mother, if these teeth cause you in pain and make you sad, I don't want them. They are of no use to me. I don't want to be famous with these teeth. I want to be famous by serving you and through your blessings." My friends, this boy was none other than the great Chanakya.
The worthy disciple. Dronacharya's disciples feel envious of Arjun. Some disciples of Guru Dronacharya used to feel that their Guru appreciated Arjun more than anyone else. So they were jealous of Arjun. One day Guru Dronacharya took all the disciples to a river for the bath. He stood below the banyan tree there and asked Arjun to fetch his dhoti which he had forgotten at the ashram. Dronacharya demonstrates the power of an arrow coupled with the mantra. While Arjun was away, Guru Dronacharya explained to all the other disciples that although there is a power in a mace and a bow, the power of a weapon coupled with the mantra is manifold. He said if the person chanting any mantra tries to understand its importance and the technique behind using it, then he will always realize the tremendous power in the mantra. I can perforate every leaf of this banyan tree at once with the help of just one arrow charged with the mantra. Saying this, Dronacharya wrote the mantra on the ground and shot an arrow charged with that mantra. That arrow went on to perforate every leaf on the tree. All the disciples were surprised to see this. Arjun learns the mantra later. Guru Dronacharya went to bath. Meanwhile, Arjun returned from the ashram with Gurudev's dhoti. He noticed the perforated leaves on the tree. He started thinking, these leaves were intact when I left. Where the perforations came from? If Gurudev has taught some secret when I had gone to ashram, then there must be some indications about it here somewhere. So Arjun looked around and he noticed the mantra written on the ground. He was amazed at the magnificence of the mantra, which could perforate every leaf on the tree. He read the mantra, memorized it, lifted an arrow and shot it while reciting the mantra. The arrow that sprang from his bow perforated every leaf for the second time. Arjun was pleased that he too had acquired the knowledge that Gurudev had bestowed to other disciples in his absence. Dronacharya shows why Arjun is worthy disciple. On their return from the river, the Guru and the disciples were perplexed to see another perforations on the leaves. Dronacharya, who amongst you perforated the leaves a second time? The disciples replied that none among them had done it. Dronacharya to Arjun, did you do it? Now Arjun was scared, but how could he lie to his Guru? So he said, I tried your mantra without your permission, because I thought that since you have already taught this mantra to all the disciples, let me learn it myself so as not to waste your precious time by having to repeat it. Gurudev, if I have committed a mistake, please pardon me. Dronacharya, dear Arjun, you have curiosity, patience and yearning to learn. Besides, you have faith too in the mantra. After I demonstrated the power of the mantra, all the disciples got very surprised and left to bath. But none of them had the yearning to experiment the power of the mantra themselves. You showed the courage to do so, made an effort and were successful too. You are my able disciple. O Arjun, it is difficult for any other to be a superior archer.
I want to be like you. Thank you, teacher, for being my life's role model. When I consider all you have taught me and reflect on the kind of person you are, I want to be like you. Smart, interesting and engaging, positive, confident, yet unpretentious. I want to be like you, well-informed and easy to understand, thinking with your heart as well as your head, gently nudging us to do our best. with sensitivity and insight. I want to be like you, giving your time, energy, and talent to ensure the brightest future. Sorry.
Crying, Elsa. I have got a severe stomach pain. Go to the dispensary and take some medicine and a rest. Thank you, ma'am.
You're looking so happy. What's the reason? I've got a scholarship, Amit. Congratulations. Thank you.
Why are you sobbing, dear?
Mom, I lost my pencil.
Don't cry, dear. You will get new one.
Thank you, Mom. Why are you shouting, boys? Sir, we won the match. Congratulations. Fight always gives bad result. One day, two friends, while walking along the road, saw a nice rope lying by its side. Both wanted to have it and started fighting for it. One held it from one end and the other from the other. They started pulling the rope. Suddenly, the rope broke off from the middle. One of them fell in mud and the other in a drain. A passerby who was watching all this went to them and said, "Fighting for a thing always gives bad results." The friends felt ashamed of their deed.
I have got diabetes. I have got diabetes. I'm injecting every day. I have got diabetes and it just won't go away. I have got diabetes and it makes me really mad. I have got diabetes and well, some days I am just sad. I have got diabetes and I really don't know why. Nobody can tell me. That's why sometimes I just cry. But I have got diabetes and still have fun with mates. And despite my diabetes, I occasionally eat cakes. Even with my diabetes, I play all the sports I like. And forgetting diabetes, I go riding on my bike. I have got diabetes and I will not let it win. I have got diabetes, but I will always keep my grain. My pimple. I had a little problem. It gave me quite a scare. I looked into the mirror and saw a pimple there. That pimple was enormous and growing on my nose, both bigger than a button and redder than a rose. I knew my friends would notice. I thought that they would stare. I figured they would laugh at me to see that pimple there. So that's when I decided I would give them a surprise. I grabbed a pen and drew on it two tiny little eyes. I drew a nose, a mouth, 2 ears, a mustache, and a beard to make my pimple obvious and wonderful and weird. My drawing was a winner and a hit with every friend. Now, painting on our pimples is the hottest fashion trend.
Young survivor makes difference in lives of kids with cancer. Becca Salmins knows how to fight. The 9-year-old successfully fought off cancer after more than 2 years of painful treatment. Now, the young survivor wants to help other children battling the disease cancer by raising money through her bracelet shop, knots and arrows. The young girl shared her story with today's Hoda Kotb as part of Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. About 10,270 new cases of cancer will be diagnosed this year among children from birth to 14 years, according to the National Cancer Institute. Becca was 6 when she was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia on September 8, 2014. I remember sitting in the hospital bed, complaining that my hip hurt, and a doctor just came in and said, "Your daughter has cancer." She recalled, said, and my mom started crying. Her mother especially remembers the numerous bad days during the beginning of her daughter's 26 months of non-stop treatment. Tons of spinal taps, tons of hospital admissions, tons of side effects, Sherry Salmin said. She took chemo every single day of her treatment. It was a long haul. Becca celebrated her final treatment on November 13, 2016, and she has been cancer-free ever since. But she continued to think about what her life was like while undergoing treatment. "I just wanted to be a normal kid, and that's what every kid wants to do when they are going through treatment," she said. "I was never able to do much, and that's what the kids laying in their hospital beds right now want to do. Asking their mom and dad, 'When are we leaving? When can I go play with my friends?' So we decided we have to give back. Knots, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on, she said. And arrows, when life seems to be pulling you back with difficulties, it just means it's going to launch you into something great. Her organization has already donated thousands of dollars to research organizations and families in need. We were very fortunate, her mother, Sherry said. We were very blessed that she is here, and we are going to take that and count it as a blessing and opportunity to give back. Becca said she hopes her bracelets will remind people that great things can result from small changes. No matter what age you are, what you look like, how you act, you can make a difference, she said.
Common cold. Sore throat and runny nose are usually the first signs of cold, followed by coughing and sneezing. Most people recover in about 7 to 10 days. You can help reduce your risk of getting a cold. Wash your hands often and avoid touching your face with unwashed hands. Most people get colds in winter and spring, but it is possible to get a cold any time of the year. Symptoms usually include sore throat, runny nose, coughing, sneezing, headaches, body aches, and fever. Most people recover within about 7 to 10 days. However, people with weak immune systems, asthma, or respiratory conditions may develop a serious illness such as pneumonia. How to protect yourselves? Viruses that causes cold can spread from infected people to others through the air and close personal contact. You can also get infected through contact with stool or respiratory secretions from an infected person. This can happen when you shake hands with someone who has a cold or touch a doorknob that has viruses on it. Then touch your eyes, mouth or nose. You can help reduce your risk of getting a cold. Wash your hands often with soap and water. Wash them for 20 seconds and help young children to do the same. If soaps and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Viruses that cause cold can live on your hands, and regular washing can help protect you from getting sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Viruses that cause colds can enter your body this way and make you sick. Stay away from people who are sick. Sick people can spread viruses that cause common cold through close contact with others. Help reduce your risk of getting a cold by washing hands often with soap and water. How to protect others? If you have a cold, you should follow these steps to prevent spreading it to other people. Stay at home while you are sick. Avoid close contact with others, such as hugging, kissing, or shaking hands. Move away from people before coughing or sneezing. Cough and sneeze into a tissue, then throw it away. Or cough and sneeze into your upper short sleeve, completely covering your mouth and nose. Wash your hands after coughing and sneezing or blowing your nose. Disinfect frequently touched surfaces and objects such as toys and doorknobs. There is no vaccine to protect you against common cold. How to feel better? There is no cure for a cold. To feel better, you should get lots of rest and drink plenty of fluids. Over-the-counter medicines may help ease symptoms, but you will not make your cold go away any faster. Always read the label and use medications as directed. Talk to your doctor before giving your child non-prescription cold medicines, since some medicines contain ingredients that are not recommended for children. Learn more about symptom relief of upper respiratory infections, including cold. Antibiotics will not help you recover from a cold. They do not work against viruses, and they may make it harder for your body to fight future bacterial infections if you take them unnecessarily. Learn more about when antibiotics work. When to see a doctor. You should call your doctor if you or your child has one or more these conditions. a temperature higher than 100.4 degree Fahrenheit, symptoms that last more than 10 days, symptoms that are severe or unusual. If your child is younger than 3 months of age and has a fever, you should always call your doctor right away. Your doctor can determine if you or your child has a cold and can recommend therapy to help with symptoms. Cause of the common cold. Many different viruses can cause common cold, but rhinovirus are the most common. Rhinoviruses can also trigger asthma attacks and have been linked to sinus and ear infections. Other viruses that can cause cold include respiratory syncytial virus, human parainfluenza viruses, and human metapneumovirus.
Cause of unhappiness. The main cause for developing dissatisfaction is temptation. Dear children, let us see how a beggar's discontentment led to his misfortune. Once there was a beggar. The beggar would chant God's name all day. One day God manifested before the beggar and asked him to name his wish. The beggar wished for gold coins. God asked him, "What will you collect them in?" The beggar put forward his sack. Before pouring gold coins into the sack, God said, "I will give you gold coins till you say enough, but on one condition. The gold coins should not fall to the ground. If they do, they will turn into dust." The beggar accepted the condition. Gold coins immediately started to rain into his sack. The beggar was very happy looking at the gold coins in his sack. The sack began to fill up gradually, but the beggar could not control his appetite for gold. Now, with the weight of coins, the sack began to burst at its seams. Despite realizing this, the beggar did not say enough. Finally, the inevitable happened. The sack tore open, and all the coins fell to the ground and turned into dust. All of a sudden, the happiness of the beggar changed into dust. The beggar cursed himself and beat his chest and head angrily. Dear children, do you know where the beggar went wrong? His greed made him discontented with the sack full of gold coins. By wishing for more, he lost everything and became unhappy. If you always want to be happy, then develop an attitude of contentment. Student's life. Students' life is full of fun, work and play. Their day begins with a prayer and ends with play. They go to school with a heavy bag on their back and water bottles in their hand. They sit in the class and toil all day and learn about facts and truth all day. In school, they make many friends and learn many trends. They even learn values of love and life. They study all day and are bright like the sun ray. They can even swim like the fish on sea bay. Studies develop brain power. Sports develop willpower. They can do both without any pain. They use pens. They use papers. They can draw many things and make many colorful rings. But when March month comes, they study all day. They work for appreciation and sacrifice lot of recreation. East or west, students' life is the best. They can start their day with a prayer and end with lots of play.
Hello, Mrs. Adams. Please tell me, how do I get to your house?
Are you coming by car, bus, or by train?
I'll be coming by car. Please, could you tell me the easiest way of getting to your house?
Take the M6 to London and need to come off at junction 78.
London. Could you spell that for me?
London.
Thanks.
Okay, then turn right at the roundabout and take the second right. My house is on the left next to the local pet store.
Is that the quickest way of getting to your house?
Yes, it is the quickest way by car.
Would it be possible for you draw me a map, please, as I don't know the area very well, as I am from Blackburn?
Yes, I will draw a map and send you a copy in an email with some directions we have just talked about.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to trouble you, but could you tell me how can I get to the train station?
Yes, no problem. It's that way. Keep on walking straight ahead. Then after you pass the library, you have to turn left. Then take your first right and it's across from the bus station. You cannot miss it.
Thank you so much. I have only been in Manchester for 2 days, so I don't know how to get anywhere yet.
Oh, I know that feeling. Me and my husband moved here 6 months ago, and I still don't know how to find certain places. Manchester is so big.
So just let me repeat. Keep on walking straight ahead till I pass the library. Then I have to turn left and take the first right. Then it's across the bus station. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, thanks for helping me. I must go and catch my train. Hopefully I haven't missed it.
Okay, bye.
Who doesn't know the name of Aruna Lama? She was a famous Nepali singer. Her voice was melodious. She was born in Darjeeling. She was born in 1945. Her parents were Surya Bahadur Lama and Samnaya Lama. Darjeeling is in India. Darjeeling is beautiful hilly region. Aruna Lama started singing when she was just 7 years old. Her uncle C.L. Lama helped her. She got married to Saran Pradhan. Her husband was also a great musician. Her famous songs are Iklai Basta and Himal Sari. She got many prizes. She is well known as the Nightingale of the Hills. She died in 1998.
My teacher ate my homework. My teacher ate my homework, which I thought was rather odd. He sniffed at it and smiled with an approving sort of nod. He took a little nibble. It's unusual, but true. Then had a somewhat larger bite and gave a thoughtful chew. I think he must have liked it, for he really went to town. He gobbled it with gusto, and he wolfed the whole thing down. He licked off all his fingers, gave a bark and said, "You pass. I guess that's how they grade you when you are in a cooking class."
Drink water and be healthy. Our body consists of two-thirds water, and it is the main component of human body. Did you know that our tissue and organs are mainly made up of water? Look at the following data. Muscles consist of 75% of water, brain consists of 90% of water, bone consists of 22% of water, blood consists of 83% of water. Every cell in our body needs water from head to toe. That is why it is so important to drink enough fluid. Take for example, the brain consists of 90% of water. If you do not supply enough water to your body, your brain cannot function well, and you will get headache or migraine. Hence, next time if you have fatigue and headache, it may be the sign of dehydration. Effects of dehydration: tiredness, migraine, constipation, muscle cramps, irregular blood pressure, kidney problem, dry skin, risks of death. Benefits of drinking water: loss of weight. Drinking water helps you to lose weight because it flushes down the byproducts of fat breakdown. Natural remedy for headache. Drinking water helps to relieve headache and back pains due to dehydration. Although many reasons contribute to headache, dehydration is the common one. Look younger with healthier skin. You will look younger when your skin is properly hydrated. Water helps to replenish skin tissues, moisturizes skin and increases skin elasticity. Better productivity at work. Your brain is mostly made up of water. Thus, drinking water helps you think better, be more alert and more concentrated. Better exercise. Drinking water regulates your body temperature. That means you will feel more energetic while doing exercises. Water also helps to fuel your muscles, help in digestion and constipations. Drinking water raises your metabolism because it helps in digestion. Fiber and water goes hand in hand so that you can have your daily bowel movement. Less cramps and sprains. Proper hydration helps keep your joints and muscles lubricated, so you will less likely get cramps and sprains. Less likely to get sick and feel healthy. Drinking plenty of water helps fight against flu and other ailments like kidney stones and heart attack. Water added with lemons is used for ailments like respiratory diseases, intestinal problems, rheumatisms and arthritis, etc. In other words, one of the benefits of drinking water is that it can improve your immune system. Relieves fatigue. Water is used by the body to help flush out toxins and waste products from the body. If your body lacks water, your heart, for instance, need to work harder to pump out the oxygenated blood to all the cells. So are the rest of the vital organs. Your organs will be exhausted, and so will you. Good mood. Your body feels very good, and that's why you feel happy. Reduce the risk of cancer. Related to digestive system, some studies show that drinking a healthy amount of water may reduce the risk of bladder cancer and colon cancer. Water dilutes the concentration of cancer-causing agents in the urine and shortens the time in which they are contact with bladder lining. Can you see the importance of water to your body after knowing the above benefits of drinking water?
Page number 95. Sarah and Fluffy. Sarah didn't like to drink milk. Whenever her mom gave Sarah a glass of milk, she would say, "No thanks, Mom, no milk for me." Sarah's mom knew how important it was for her young daughter to drink milk. Milk has calcium, and Sarah needed calcium in order to have strong teeth and bones. One afternoon, Sarah's mom spoke to Sarah's teacher, Mr. Smith, about her problem with Sarah. Mr. Smith had an idea. The next day, Mr. Smith gave Sarah a special book to read. The book was called Fluffy. Sarah loved to read. She read all the time. Sarah also loved kittens. Fluffy was a kitten. Sarah could not wait to read her special book. When Sarah got home from school that day, she ran to her mom, kissed her, and said, "Mom, look, Mr. Smith gave me a special book to read. It is about a kitten named Fluffy." "That's nice, dear. Why don't you read a bit before dinner?" asked her mom. Sarah washed her hands and sat at the kitchen table to read. After reading for a few minutes, Sarah said, "Oh, poor Fluffy can't climb a tree because her paw's hot." Sarah kept reading. Then Sarah said, "Poor Fluffy can't bend, twirl, or dance because her paw's hot." Sarah closed her book. Sarah's mom came to the table and asked, "What's wrong, dear? Why have you stopped reading?" Sarah said, "It's Fluffy. She can't climb, bend, twirl, or dance because she won't drink milk and." Sarah stopped. Then Sarah said, "Mom, may I have a glass of milk?" Sarah drank the glass of milk and said, "If Fluffy needs milk to be healthy and strong, I guess I do too." "Yes, dear," smiled Sarah's mom. Once two villagers were sitting under a tree and watching the sunset. They were very close friends. After sitting quietly for some time, one asked the other, "What are you thinking?" "I'm planning to buy 5 acres of land." "A garden." The other friend immediately said, "Don't buy the garden." The first one was surprised. He asked, "Why?" The second one replied, "I'm planning to buy a buffalo. Then my buffalo will enter your garden, and we will fight, have misunderstandings, and lose our friendship. I do not want to lose our friendship." The first one said, "Then you cancel your plan of buying a buffalo. I'm going to buy my garden." The second one said, "No, no, no. I have already decided to buy a buffalo." The first one said, "How will your buffalo enter my garden? I will fence it thoroughly." The second one said, "No, you see, it can just enter. A buffalo is a buffalo. Who can stop it? It can't do anything." Then the fight went to such an extent that they started to fight and broke their limbs. Dear readers, neither has bought buffalo nor any land. Nothing has happened. Just the minds raced and both of them broke their limbs over it. Our fears are also like that. The future has not yet come. But you just sit there and think, "Oh, what will happen?" So much anxiety about the future. In this run, the mind gets into such a mess. It is unable to see the present moment as it unfolds.
Excuse me, could you tell me the time? It's 9 o'clock. What time is it now? It's a 9:30.
Don't get up now.
What time is it now, Mom?
It's 7:15.
Excuse me, can I get some chocolate? Sure. Which flavor, sir? I want coffee flavor. What's the price of each candy, sir? It costs 2 rupees for each candy. How many candies, sir? I want 5 candies.
Does it cost for 1 dozen bananas?
It costs 70 rupees. How much did you pay for this novel?
I paid 150 rupees.
Which day is today, Avi?
Today is Saturday.
Which day was yesterday?
Yesterday was Friday.
Which day is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Sunday.
Excuse me, can I get menu please?
Here you are, sir.
Can we get soup?
Yes, you can. Which soup, sir?
We want chicken soup.
Okay, sir. Have your seat.
Thank you. How long time does it take?
Just 10 minutes, sir.
Hello, it's me John from America.
Good evening, John. How are you, John?
I'm fine.
What time is there now?
It's 7 in the morning. I'm planning to visit Nepal. How is the season now?
It's very pleasant season, John. Unlike April, it's September. It's neither too cold nor too hot. When are you planning to come?
I'm planning to come at the end of this month.
You're most welcome. It's the festival season. You can really enjoy Nepal.
Could you please book 2 luxury rooms for me, please?
Sure, sir. For how many days?
For 15 days?
Have a happy journey, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Sagarmatha National Park is located in eastern Nepal. It contains the parts of the Himalayas and the southern half of Mount Everest. It is the highest national park in the world. Sagarmatha is the modern Nepali name for Mount Everest. The park covers an area of 1148 square kilometers. About 69% of the land is barren with an elevation of above 5000 meters. 28% land is grazing land and the remaining 3% is the forest area. This national park was established in 1976 and it was declared a Natural World Heritage Site in 1979. A company of Nepal Army remains permanently stationed at the park for its protection. Thousands of tourists come every year to visit this site.
My brother ate my smartphone. My brother ate my smartphone, although it might sound strange. He swallowed it, and bit by bit, his brains began to change. He started getting smarter. He grew so shrewd and wise. I could see that suddenly. A light was in his eyes. He knew as much as Google. His IQ was off the charts. I had never seen someone so keen, with such astounding smarts. He solved the toughest problems with simplicity and ease, and calculated answers with unrivaled expertise. It seems he is now a genius, a perfect brainiac. But I don't care or think it's fair. I want my smartphone back.
Officials, student killed confronting shooter at high school. Nicholas K. Garanias. Associated Press, Thursday, September 14, 2017. Rockford, Was, AP. A student who opened fire in a hallway at a Washington State high school killed a classmate who confronted him Wednesday and wounded 3 others before being stopped by a staff member, authorities said. A call to the school was not immediately returned. Harper said the shooter had many friends and was not bullied, calling him nice and funny and weird, and a huge fan of the TV show Breaking Bad. He also said the suspect was obsessed with other school shootings. Students say the shooter was armed with a pistol and rifle and had carried a duffel bag to school. After shots were fired, students went running and screaming down the hallways, Harper said. Authorities didn't release the suspect's identity or a possible motive. The victims also were not named. Luis Prieto, an assistant football coach at Freeman High, called the shooting devastating. A vigil was planned Wednesday evening at a nearby church. This is a real close-knit community, he said. A 2-lane road in the town of about 500 people near the Idaho border was clogged as worried parents sped to the school. Some people abandoned their cars on the street to make it to their children. Cheryl Moser said her son, a freshman, called her from a classroom after hearing shots fired. He called me and said, "Mom, there are gunshots." He sounded so scared. I've never heard him like that, Moser told the spokesman Review newspaper. You never think about something happening like this at a small school. Providence Sacred Heart Medical Center and Children's Hospital received 3 pediatric patients, spokeswoman Nicole Stewart said. They were in stable condition and surrounded by family, she said. Stephanie Ludge told AP she was relieved to hear her son was safe after his high school near Freeman High was put on lockdown. She commended the school district for its communication. It's been amazing. Within probably 15-20 minutes of hearing about it, I had already received a phone call. I had already received a text message saying that their school is okay, she said. She is still worried for others she knew, including a co-worker who had yet to hear from her son, a sophomore at Freeman. My stomach's in knots right now, she said. Governor Jay Inslee said in a statement that all Washingtonians are thinking of the victims and their families and are grateful for the service of school staff and first responders working to keep our students safe. Associated Press writer Rebecca Boone in Boise, Idaho, and Elena Hartonian in Phoenix contributed to this story.
The giant panda, literally black and white cat food, Chinese pinyin, literally big bear cat, also known as panda bear or simply panda, is a bear native to south central China. It is easily recognized by the large, distinctive black patches around its eyes, over the ears, and across its round body. The name giant panda is sometimes used to distinguish it from the unrelated red panda. Though it belongs to omnivore, the giant panda's diet is over 99% bamboo. Giant pandas in the wild occasionally eat other grasses, wild tubers, or even meat in the form of birds, rodent, or carrion. In captivity, they may receive honey, eggs, fish, yams, shrub, leaves, oranges, or bananas, along with specially prepared food. The giant panda lives in a few mountain ranges in the central China, mainly in Sichuan, but also in neighboring Shanxi and Gansu. As a result of farming, deforestation, and other development, the giant panda has been driven out of the lowland areas where it once lived. The giant panda is a terrestrial animal and primarily spends its life roaming and feeding in the bamboo forests of the Qingling Mountains and in the hilly prominence of Sichuan. Giant pandas are generally solitary and each adult has a defined territory, and a female is not tolerant of other females in her range. Giant pandas give birth to twins. If twins are born, usually only one survives in the wild. The mother will select the stronger of the cubs and the weaker will die. The mother is thought to be unable to produce enough milk for two cubs since she does not store fat. The father has no part in helping raise the cub. When the cub is the firstborn, it is pink, blind, and toothless. The giant pandas is the beauty of China. Nowadays, it has become a very popular doll, like a teddy bear for kids. Some facts about giant panda. The giant panda is native to China. It has black and white coat that features large black patches around its eyes. Pandas are an endangered species. Population estimates vary, but there may be around 2,000 left living in the wild. The giant panda cub weighs only around 150 gram to 200 gram at birth. Adult male can weigh up to 150 kg. Giant pandas have a lifespan of around 20 years in the wild. Female pandas raise cub on their own. The males leaves after mating. The diet of the panda is made up almost entirely of bamboo. Giant pandas eat as much as 10 kg of bamboo a day. Giant pandas are good climbers. The scientific name for the giant pandas is
Elyropoda melanolic, red hot iron. One day, one rich man wanted to punish a man named Hassan. He blamed him that he had stolen necklace from his house and reported to Akbar. The case was brought in the court. Akbar asked the man, "Why do you think that Hassan has stolen your necklace?" The man replied, "Your Honor, I have seen him stealing the necklace." Hassan said, "No, Huzur, I am innocent. I do not know anything about his necklace." The rich man said, "Huzur, if he is innocent, let him prove his innocence. Let me bring the hot iron, and if he can hold it, in his bare hands, then I will agree that he has not stolen my necklace, and he is speaking truth." Hassan said, "If I am speaking the truth, then I will not burn my hands with that hot iron." "You are right, God will protect you," said the rich man. Now Hassan could not do anything but to hold red-hot iron in his hands to prove his innocence, and that he was speaking the truth. He asked Akbar to give him one day to look for that necklace again, and he went home. He took advice from Birbal. When he returned next day, he said, "I am ready for that, but the same thing should apply to him too. If he is speaking the truth, then the red-hot iron should not burn his hands also. So let him bring the red-hot iron, holding in his both hands. Then I will hold that iron in my bare hands." Now the rich man was speechless, and he was trapped in his own plot. He told Akbar that he would go and search for his necklace again in his house. Maybe it was misplaced somewhere there. Akbar ordered the rich man to give his necklace to Hassan as a punishment.
Birbal shortens the road. The Emperor Akbar was travelling to a distant place with some of his courtiers. It was a hot day, and the Emperor was tired of the journey. "Can't anybody shorten this road for me?" he asked curiously. "I can," said Birbal. The other courtiers looked at one another, perplexed. All of them knew there was no other path through the hilly terrain. The road they were travelling on was the only one that could take them to their destination. "You can shorten the road," said the Emperor. "Well, do it." "I will," said Birbal. "Listen first to this story I have to tell." And riding beside the Emperor's palanquin, he launched upon a long and intriguing tale that held Akbar and all those listening spellbound. Before they knew it, they had reached the end of their journey. "We have reached," exclaimed Akbar. "So soon?" "Well," grinned Birbal, "you did say you wanted the road to be shortened."
Dog, man's best friend. The dog is a loving companion to a man. He is happy to go everywhere with his master. He shows his affection for his master by wagging his tail and licking his hand or face. If his master is blind, the dog helps him to cross the street and acts as his loving guide. No man can feel lonely when he has a dog for company. A dog keeps watch over his master's house. He will not allow anyone to touch anything belonging to his master. He will bark when a stranger approaches the house. He might even bite a thief who is not scared away by his bark. A dog is useful to a shepherd to look after his sheep. If any of the sheep stray from the flock, the dog will bring it back. He will not allow a wolf or fox to attack the sheep. A dog is useful in catching thieves and criminals. The thief may hide anywhere, and the dog will use his sense of smell to find out where the thief is hiding. Police dogs are used to catch murderers and criminals. The dog, by his sense of smell, will lead the police to the hiding place of murderers. A dog is loyal and faithful to his master. Nothing will induce him to leave his master. His master might be a poor man or even a beggar, but still his dog will not leave him to go with anyone else. A dog worships his master as if he were a god. A dog has a sharp sense of hearing and smell. He can hear footsteps from a great distance. At night he will be up and about at the least sound. He can smell his master from far off. He will rush out of the house to jump on his master and welcome him home. A friend is one who is ready to help a man in his moment of need. So a dog is really man's best friend. He is prepared to die rather than allow any harm to come to his master. Dogs have been known to die to save their masters. A dog might even die of grief after his master is dead. He is certainly a true and faithful friend. It is right to call him man's best friend. Tina, are you going to market today?
"Yes, Mom."
Don't forget to phone your father at 4 p.m.
"Don't worry, Mom. I'll do it."
And you will remember to post the letters, won't you?
"Oh, yes. I have already kept them into my bag. I'll post them after visiting my friend."
Can I remind you to invite your friend Lucy to your birthday party?
Of course, I'll invite her. Bye.
Bye, but come on time.
Okay, Mom.
This is your purse, isn't it? Yes, it is. Where did you get this? I found it in the ground. Thank you very much.
Dad, we are going to out, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So we are going to Pokhara, aren't we? Yes, we are. We'll stay 4 nights, won't we, sir? No, we won't. We'll stay only 2 nights. Your father went to Japan yesterday, didn't he? Yes, he did. Your father also went, didn't he? No, he didn't.
Ma'am, let us go home, won't you?
No, I won't let you go now. You have to stay here till 5 o'clock.
Ma'am, it's already 5 o'clock, isn't it?
Oh yes, okay, let's go now.
Suresh, you're looking very smart, aren't you?
I don't know, but maybe your eyes. Excuse me, ma'am. It is a school reception, isn't it?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I want to meet Anil's class teacher.
Please wait for some time, will you?
Okay.
Hello, Nisha. Congratulations.
For what, Sarah?
Don't you know?
Really?
You have been selected for the inter-school talent show.
Thank you very much for sharing with me good news. I could not come to school due to stomach pains.
How are you now?
Getting better. Who will go from boys?
Saran from grade 7. Bye, Nisha. Take care.
Okay, bye. See you tomorrow. Basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport. I dribble up and down the court. The ball goes bouncing off my toes and bends the teacher on the nose. He stumbles back and grabs his nose and hits the wall and down he goes. The other players stop and stare. They have never heard the teacher swear. With no one playing anymore, I grab the ball, I shoot, I score. I love this game, it's so much fun. The teacher cried, but hey, we won.
Sports play a great role in everyone's busy life, especially for students. Everyone should involve themselves in the sports activity even for a small time all through the day. Sports are necessary because they bring physical and mental fitness to the person involved in this on regular basis. People who have busy schedule in their life get tired very easily. For living a relaxed and comfort life, we need a sound mind and a sound body. Education is very necessary to get name, fame and money. In the same way, getting a sound mind and body, everyone must involve in some type of physical activities for which sports are the best way. Advantages of sports and games. Sports and games are very beneficial to us as they teach us punctuality, passion, discipline, teamwork and dedication. Playing sports help us in building and improving confidence level. If we practice sports on a regular basis, we can be more active and healthy. Being involved in the sports activities help us in getting protected with numerous diseases such as arthritis, obesity, heart problems, diabetes, etc. It makes us more disciplined, patient, punctual and courteous in life. It teaches us to go ahead in life by removing all the weaknesses. It makes us bold and gives us feeling of happiness by reducing the occurrence of anxiety and anger. It makes us physically fit and mentally comfort using which we can easily deal with all the problems.
A teenage girl from the Himalayan nation of Nepal is said to be the youngest competitor at this year's Olympic Games in Rio. Gaurika Singh, aged 13, is to compete in women's 100-meter backstroke. Born in Nepal but based in London since 2004, Gaurika already holds even national swimming records in her home country. The daughter of a doctor, Gaurika has been training for the last 4 years at the Barnet Copthall Swimming Club in the northwest London, and is a part of a team of 7 representing Nepal in Rio. She began competing in championships in Nepal when she was only 11. Go girl! Gaurika's age and achievements have not gone unnoticed in Nepalese press. She is Nepal's best swimmer so far, declares the Kathmandu Post, adding that she broke Nepal's drought with her haul of 4 medals at the South Asian Games in India earlier this year. Gaurika reacted with total disbelief when she found out she is the youngest athlete at the Games, the Annapurna Post newspaper notes. Social media users expressed excitement over her Olympic debut and thanks her for making the nation proud. Gaurika has boosted our pride and dignity, says Sanjeev Janwali in post in Nepali. And many Twitter and Facebook users are urging Gaurika to deliver a brilliant performance at the games. You go girl, says user Kalpana Thapa and Ria.
Mullah and the Milkman. One day Mullah Nasruddin was going somewhere when he met a man who was carrying a large milk can. The man wished Mullah Nasruddin and said, Mullahji, I have a problem. Would you be kind enough to provide me a solution? Mullah Nasruddin willingly consented to hear him out as he was eyeing his big container of milk. The man said, Whenever I get up in the morning, I feel intoxicated. My head spins around and I feel as if I have a hangover, and I don't understand what could be the problem. Mullah Nasruddin asked, this is a serious problem indeed. Let me think, what do you generally eat or drink before you go to sleep? The man said, I drink a big glass of milk. The mullah said, Now I have found your problem. The milk that you drink in the night causes the intoxication. The gullible man asked, How is that, Mullahji? Mullah explained to him, You drink milk before sleeping. In your sleep, when you toss in your bed, the milk gets churned. It turns into butter. When butter gets churned, it turns into fat. Fat gets churned, it turns into sugar. Then the sugar gets churned and turns into alcohol. So finally you wake up with alcohol in your stomach in the morning. That is why you feel intoxicated. So what do I do? Asked the man in simplicity. The clever mullah said, The solution of your problem is very simple. Don't drink milk. Here, give it to me. Mullah took away the milk can from the man and walked away from there. The poor man stood there bewildered.
When did you get up today, Savita?
I woke up at 6:30. And you, Savina?
I woke up at 7 o'clock. What did you do after that?
After finishing my regular work, I went to play tennis at 7 o'clock. And what did you do?
I had lots of work. I washed my dress and took a bath. Then I went to our uncle's house. There was a puja.
That sounds nice.
Have you finished your homework?
Not yet. I'm doing it. And you?
I finished it yesterday.
What did you study at school, dear? We studied visual English. Did you watch its video? Yes, Dad. How was it? It was fantastic. Did you enjoy it? Yes, Dad. Our teacher showed us a video before teaching us a lesson. What did you do after watching the video? We discuss and share our input. It's very effective. Do you like your English class? Yes, Dad. Everyone likes English class. Did you enjoy your English class before? No, Dad. It used to be so monotonous. You are improving your English, aren't you? Yes, Dad. Now everyone talks in the English. Very good. Keep it up. Okay, Dad.
The Rivals. I heard a bird at dawn, singing sweetly on a tree, that the dew was on the lawn. But I didn't listen to him, for he didn't sing for me. I didn't listen to him, for he didn't sing for me, that the dew was on the lawn, and the wind was on the lea. I was singing at the time just as prettily as he. I was singing at the time just as prettily as he. I was singing at the time as prettily as he. About the dew upon the lawn, and the wind upon the lea. So I didn't listen to him as he sang upon the tree. Have a ball. When I was born, I was given a ball. The ball was green and blue. My mom said, share and take good care. It belongs to other too. Keep it clean. Keep the green parts green. Try to make the blue parts bluer. If you love this ball, it will never grow old. In fact, it may grow newer. So I did all that and I did so more, 'cause I love this ball a lot. And I hope that you will love it too. It's the only ball we have got. How dirty are we? Humans, how dirty are we? We litter our rivers, air and streets. We need to purge it. And think of the consequences they cause. No one cares about pollution. No dilution for solution. And then this cause confusion. When the animals disappear into thin air, what did our selfish race do? Cleaning of trees, we leave no air to breathe, because of our selfish deeds. pollution of water, air, and land, for the benefit of man. When would someone take a stand, and hold our hand, and teach the future generation how to treat our nation, to save it for abomination, recycle our wastage, and just in case, reuse what we use so that our waste will reduce, so that through the air pollutants won't profuse. The Red Moon. There was once a little grey planet that was very sad. The people living there hadn't looked after it. They had all the invention and spaceships. Due to the unhealthy competition of the people, they had contaminated the whole countryside so much with rubbish and pollution that there were no plants and animals left. No birds were flying in the sky. No single green leaf was left. People lived eating artificial food items. Their life was unbearable. Natural life was almost over everywhere. They could not breathe well. The whole planet had changed into the heap of machines, ships, tools, garbage, filth, bombs, guns, gunpowder, rockets, missiles, chemicals, etc. All kinds of machinery devices were out of use due to shortage of fuel like petrol, diesel, and coal. Now there were no sources of mineral water like falls, rivers, rivulets, underground water, etc. People were starving. They had no muscles on their bodies but just skeletons. Drought, mess, pollution, over temperature, black mountains, dry rivers, and filthy seas were left. The islands were under the sea and the seas. There was no single fish in the seas because of water pollution. Imagine the planet in those horrible conditions. One day, a little boy was walking in search of life on the planet, when he passed a cave and noticed a small red flower inside. The flower was very sick, almost dying, so the boy carefully dug up the flower, with roots, soil, and everything. Then he started looking for a place where he could look after it. He searched all over the planet, but everywhere was so contaminated that there was no place the flower could possibly live in. Then he looked up at the sky and noticed the moon. It seemed to the boy that maybe the plant could survive there. So the little boy put on his astronaut suit and climbed into a spaceship. He put the little red flower in the back, and off they went to the moon. The boy planted the flower on the moon. It was far away from all that pollution, and with the boy visiting it every day to tend it, the flower started to grow. He looked after the flower regularly and carefully, that it had soon germinated, giving birth to others, and these other flowers spread onto other flowers. Before long, the whole moon was completely covered with flowers. That's why whenever the little boy's flower opened up for a few minutes, the moon takes on a soft red sheen, like warning light. Maybe it's telling us that if you don't look after your planet, a day will come when flowers will only be able to grow on the moon.
The octopus in the knot. Once upon a time, there was a shy and a quiet octopus. He nearly always went about on his own because, although he wanted to have lots of friends, he was too self-conscious. One day, the octopus was trying to catch a very slippery oyster. Before he knew it, he had tied himself into one massive knot, and he could not move. He tried with all his strength to wriggle free, but it was no good. In the end, despite the great embarrassment he felt at being seen in such a tangle, he had to ask for help from the passing fish. Many fish swam past, ignoring him, but one very kind little fish offered to help to untie all those tentacles from all those suckers. The octopus felt heartily relieved when he was finally set free, but he was so shy that he did not dare talk to the fish and make friendship with him. He simply thanked the fish and quickly swam off. Later, the octopus spent the whole night thinking that he had wasted a great opportunity to make friends with that very kind little fish. A couple of days later, the octopus was resting between some rocks when he noticed that everyone around was hurriedly swimming past. He looked into the distance and saw an enormous fish coming over to feed in that area. The octopus quickly hid. Then, peeping an eye out from his hiding place, he saw that the huge fish was chasing the kind little fish who had untied him. The little fish really needed urgent help, but the big fish was so dangerous looking that no one dared to go near. The octopus, remembering how the little fish had helped him, felt that he had to do whatever he could to come to his aid. Without hesitating, the octopus set out from the rocks like a ray. He put himself right in the path of the giant fish, and before the fish could do anything about it, the octopus had shot out the biggest jet of ink of his life. He grabbed the little fish and swam off back to hide in the rocks. Everything happened so fast that the big fish had no time to react. However, he soon recovered from the surprise. Off he went to the rocks, looking for the octopus and the little fish. Now he really wanted to gobble them down. Soon, though, he began feeling a terrible itch, first in his gills, and then in his fins, and then all over his body. It turned out that this giant fish had a very artistic nature. He adored colors, and the octopus' dark ink had given him a terrible allergy. So the big fish swam away, irritated all over. As soon as he was gone, all the fish who had been hiding came and congratulated the octopus for being so brave. Then the little fish told them all how he had helped the octopus a few days earlier, but he had never known anyone be so grateful that they would end up doing something so dangerous. Hearing this, the other fish discovered how nice the shy octopus was, and everyone around was keen to be the friend of such a brave and honorable octopus.
For that, in a small village in China lived a monk called San. Though he had earned a great name for himself, yet he was very proud and arrogant. Everyone in the country was aware of his exhaustive nature. Guizhun heard of his arrogance. He wanted to make the monk a better person by teaching him a lesson. One day Guizhun went to meet him. San, however, did not greet him properly, neither did he even acknowledge his presence. Just then a man came running to San and told him, "Sir, there is a man who is here to see you. He says that he is the son of an army officer." The monk immediately went out to meet him and greeted him cheerfully. Guizhun was surprised and asked the monk, "Why did you treat me so rudely while you treated the army officer's son so politely? May I know the reason for such a difference in your behavior towards both of us?" The monk replied, "Actually, sir, for me, not greeting means greeting, and greeting means not greeting." Guizhun understood the monk's weakness. He hit the monk hard on his head with a stick. San was taken by surprise and asked, "Why on the earth did you hit me like that?" To that Guizhun replied, "Just like you, for me, not beating means beating, and beating means not beating. So in short, I did not beat you." San understood his mistake and was ashamed of his foolish behavior. From that day onwards, he treated everyone with respect regardless of their status.
How is your newborn sister?
She's really cute.
How old is she?
She's 10 months old.
How are her eyes?
Her eyes are black, large, round and attractive.
How does she look?
She is very charming. Her front two teeth are incredible. When she smiles, she draws our attention. She has good round face. It's difficult to describe her beauty. She looks like an angel.
Wow, you are very lucky.
Hello, Sushi. Hello, Menuka. Did you prepare for tomorrow's excursion?
Yes, almost finished. And you? What have you got?
I have bought 2 packets of chow chow, a bottle of water, and a liter of juice. And what have you got?
I have got 1 kg of apple and a large packet of biscuit. I have got 2 dozens of bananas as well. What is this, mother?
It is panda. Can you describe it, my darling?
Yes, Mom. It has got a beautiful body. It has 2 eyes. Its body is black and white. It has got fur. It has 4 legs. It has 2 ears. Its nose is black.
Very good, darling.
How much water do you drink daily, Suman?
I drink 5 liters of water. How many cups of tea do you drink daily?
I drink 4 cups of tea daily. And you?
I don't drink tea, but I drink 2 cups of coffee daily. Do you drink juice?
Yes, I do. I drink 1.5 liters of juice daily. Do you not drink juice?
Yes, I do. I drink 1 liter of apple juice daily. Do you not drink milk?
No, I don't drink milk. Do you drink?
Yes, I do. I drink half of liter of milk daily. It's good for health.
But I don't like milk.
An Englishman was once traveling in Italy and one day he went into a small restaurant. He wanted to order dinner. He understood very little Italian and was unable to read the menu. He knew the word eggs and so he ordered eggs. Italy is famous, however, for its mushrooms, and so the man wanted to try some mushrooms with his eggs. But he did not know the word for a mushroom. The waiter did not speak a word of English and therefore could not help him. At last the man took out a piece of paper and a pencil and very carefully drew a picture of a mushroom on the piece of paper. The waiter looked at the picture of the mushroom for a long time. He did not understand very well, but at last he went away. He was absent for a long time. Eventually he returned. Instead of an order of mushrooms, however, he brought the man a large black umbrella.
Human rights. My rights, your rights, our rights. Human rights. From a mechanic shop came a cry of a boy. What are my rights? Education or being a mechanic? My rights, your rights, our rights. Human rights. From a house came a cry of a girl. What are my rights? Doing the household work like a self or education. My rights, your rights, our rights. Human rights. From a house came a cry of a woman. What are my rights? Being made a slave or a free citizen. My rights, your rights, our rights. Human rights. Every child's right. Every child has the right to live this life without fright, to sleep peacefully through the night, without fear for their precious lives. Every child's kingdom is their life. Adults are guardians guarding their rights to a full and trouble-free existence, spared from the madness of war where the life is significant. Every child needs the fullness of peace to develop and grow with ease. Children are the future. It's their rights we need to please. May they forgive those who are bringing them to their knees.
Malala Yousafzai was born on 12 July 1997. She is a Pakistani activist for female education and the youngest ever Nobel Prize laureate. She is known all over the world as a strong supporter of human rights and women education. Yousafzai was born in Mingora, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan. Her family came to run a chain of schools in the region, considering Jinnah and Benazir Bhutto as her role model. She was particularly inspired by her father's thoughts and humanitarian work. In early 2009, when she was 11-12, she wrote a blog under a pseudonym for the BBC Urdu, detailing her life during Taliban occupation of Swat. The following summer, journalist Adam B. Ellick made a New York Times documentary about her. She rose in prominence, giving interviews in print and television, and she was nominated for the International Children's Peace Prize by activist Desmond Tutu. The Taliban has banned women education in her region. She opposed it and raised her voice in favor of female education. Yousafzai was injured on 9 October 2012 by Taliban gunmen when he attempted to murder her while she was returning home on a bus. She remained unconscious and in critical condition at the Rawalpindi Institute of Cardiology, but later her condition improved enough for her to be sent to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, UK. The murder attempt sparked a national and international outpouring of support for Yousafzai. Since recovering, Yousafzai became a prominent education activist. She founded the Malala Fund, a non-profit, and in 2013 co-authored I Am Malala, an international bestseller. In 2015, Yousafzai was the subject of Oscar shortlisted documentary He Named Me Malala. The 2013, 2014 and 2015 issues of the Times magazine featured her as one of the most influential people globally. In 2012, she was a recipient of Pakistani First National Youth Peace Prize and 2013 Sakharov Prize. In 2014, she was announced as the co-recipient of the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize along with Kailash Satyarthi for her struggle against the oppression of children and young people for the right of all children to education. Aged 17 at the Girls Eggbaston High School in Birmingham, in 2017 she was awarded honorary Canadian citizenship and became the youngest person to address the House of Commons of Canada. In April 2017, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres appointed Yousafzai as a UN Messenger of Peace to promote girls' education. In August 2017, she gained admission in Lady Margaret Hall, Oxford, to study for the bachelor's degree in philosophy, politics, and economics. Malala has become a great source of inspiration to all the girls for freedom and education. She strongly supports female education and peace in the world. She has devoted her for women education, freedom, and world peace.
The Magic Window. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who became very ill. He had to spend all day in bed, unable to move. Because other children weren't allowed to come near him, he suffered greatly and spent his days feeling sad and blue. There wasn't much he could do except look out of the window. Time passed, and his feeling of despair just grew, until one day he saw a strange shape in the window. It was a penguin eating a sausage sandwich. The penguin squeezed in through the open window, said "Good afternoon" to the boy, turned around, and left again. Of course the boy was very surprised. He was still trying to work out what had happened when outside his window he saw a monkey in a nappy busy blowing up a balloon. At first the boy asked himself what that could possibly be. But after a while, as more and more crazy-looking characters appeared out the window, he burst out laughing and found it hard to stop. Anyone wanting to stop laughing would never be helped by seeing a pig playing a tambourine, an elephant jumping on a trampoline, or a dog wearing a pair of glasses and talking about nothing except politics. The little boy didn't tell anyone about this because who would have believed him? Even so, those strange characters ended up putting joy back in his heart and in his body. Before long, his health had improved so much that he was able to go back to school again. There he got to talk to his friends and tell them all the strange things he had seen. While he was talking to his best friend, he saw something sticking out of his friend's school bag. The boy asked friend what it was, and he was so insistent that finally friend had to show him what was in the bag. There inside were all the fancy dress suits, disguises that his best friend had been using to try to cheer the little boy up. And from that day on, the little boy always did his best to make sure that no one felt sad and alone.
Thanks. On our calendar, Thanksgiving comes once a year, but in my heart it is always here. In the morning I thank God for the things I see, all the beauty He gives to me. I thank Him for each sound I hear, the rustling leaves and the bleating deer. I thank Him for the roof over my head and my warm, cozy bed. I thank Him for each scent I smell, so beckoning my stomach to feel. I thank God for the things I touch. Being able to feel means so much. I thank Him for my family, each one so special to me. I know now what I am trying to say. Thank God for everything. Every day on our calendar, Thanksgiving comes once a year.
The mosquito net. One day, David asked his wife to go to the market and buy a mosquito net. His wife went to the shop and asked the shopkeeper to show her the best quality net. The shopkeeper, showing her a very good net, said, "This is the best quality which you won't be able to find anywhere else. Not even a single mosquito can pass through it." Mrs. David refused to buy the net. When the shopkeeper asked the reason, she said, "If a mosquito can't pass through it, then how will we pass through it?" Then she returned home and narrated the whole matter to her husband. Hearing the whole matter, David laughed at his wife's foolishness.
Time is valuable. Anthony was a very lazy boy and always used to postpone things. One day his father called him and made him understand the value of time, that one should always do things on time. Anthony promised his father that he would never postpone things. One day he came to know that he had won the first prize in a singing competition that was held the previous month. He was asked to collect the prize the same day. He didn't care and went to collect the prize the next day, but the prize became useless for him, as it was a ticket to a circus show, which was held the previous day. Anthony learned a lesson from this incident.
Two neighbors. Once there were two ladies who were neighbors. One of them was very fat, while the other one was very thin. They always kept fighting with each other. All other neighbors were fed of their quarrels. One day an elderly person said to both the ladies, "Why do you quarrel so much? Can't you be like the wheels of two-wheeler, where one wheel complements the other?" At this the thin lady said, "Yes, but how can a vehicle move smoothly when one tire is of a tractor and other of a cycle?" Everybody present here started laughing, hearing such a witty answer.
Only for love. Two donkeys who were friends met at a crossroad. One donkey was healthy and the other malnourished. The healthy donkey asked the weak one, "What happened to you? Why do you seem so weak?" The weak donkey replied, "My master makes me work the whole day and doesn't give me enough food to eat, and also beats me." "Oh," exclaimed the healthy donkey, "then why don't you run away from your master's house?" He replied, "I think my job has better prospects. My master beats his only daughter too, and whenever he does so, he says to her, 'I'll marry you off to this donkey.' For this reason I am not running away."
Say the truth, but don't hurt anyone's feeling. Jupiter, the chief of God, was getting married. He decided to celebrate the event by hosting a reception. He invited all the animals living on land and in water to attend the banquet. All the animals came to attend the feast, but the tortoise didn't come. Jupiter was surprised at his absence. After a few days, Jupiter came across the tortoise and asked him, "Why didn't you attend the banquet held in honor of my marriage?" "Were you all right?" the tortoise retorted. "I am a stay-at-home type of animal and never care to attend petty affairs. Why should I trouble myself when there is no place like home?" Though the tortoise said something very true, but the way he said it was very hurting. Jupiter felt pinched and cursed the tortoise. "Now you will always carry your home on your back and never be able to unload it." Till today every tortoise carries his home with him. An ass, a cock, and a lion. Once a cock and an ass were sitting under a tree sharing a meal. Suddenly a lion came there. Seeing the cock and ass there, he said, "I don't need to hunt far and wide. Under the tree sits my next meal." Seeing the lion, the cock flew onto the branch of the tree and crowed in fear. Hearing this strange sound, the lion got scared and ran away. The ass, thinking that the lion was frightened of it, started following him, without realizing that it was a cock's crow that had scared the lion. When the lion and the ass went out of the hearing of the cock, the lion turned upon the ass and tore into pieces.
Two frogs and the pit. Once some frogs were playing happily. All of a sudden, two of them fell into a deep pit. When other frogs saw how deep the pit was, they told two frogs that they were as good as dead. The two frogs ignored their comments and tried hard to jump out of the pit, but all in vain. Finally, one of the frogs gave up, but the other continued to jump even harder and made it out. So this story proves that you should never give up trying till the time you succeed. The Little Scholar. Once a shepherd, while grazing his sheep and cattle in the pastures, happened to be seen by the king of that kingdom. The shepherd was in a jovial mood. When the king asked him the reason of his happiness, the shepherd, without knowing that he was the king, said, "Shouldn't I be happy? I am happier than the king of our kingdom." When the king asked him to prove this, he replied, "I have the wealth of this nature. The sun gives me warmth and light. The blue sky pampers me, and this valley gives me peace of mind. I have enough money to live a comfortable life. Now tell me, does the king have so much wealth?" The king realized that the real wealth is not money, but the peace of mind.